Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with an update on everyone's favorite little gremlin, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. There is a new sneak peek of her garbage reality show with Lifetime that I wanted to talk about for a few minutes. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright you guys, so this new little sneak peek clip is definitely going around, especially among the creators that discuss Gypsy Rose and all of her nonsensical BS circus type production that she's doing. But she says a few things in this video that I think are contradictory and very rich coming from either her or Ken. Now, she also makes a claim in this clip, which I'm going to read exactly what she says because it's just a very short little snippet. But the first thing that she said that I thought was very interesting is she claims that people online were making the claim that she should have had her tubes tied as a requirement of her parole agreement. Now, me personally, I never heard that. I never saw that. I never saw anyone say that that should have been a condition of her parole. I've seen people say that she's not fit to be a parent. The way that she went about getting pregnant was very sketchy and very dirty. But I didn't see anything saying her parole requirement should have been that she had her tubes tied. I think that's just another thing that was fabricated by her to make people feel sorry for her. Like, she's got so many haters and trolls. Nobody likes Gypsy Rose. You poor little thing. I've never seen it. So if y'all have, tell me down below. But I think it's just another nonsense BS lie that came out of her mouth in this little clip. Ken in this clip also says, I wish she would have gotten through this divorce process before this happened, this being him impregnating Gypsy Rose. Now let's talk about that for a second, because he is placing all of the blame onto her as if it wasn't also his decision to have unprotected relations with Gypsy and knowing that that could end in a pregnancy. I'm never here to be on Gypsy's side, but to place blame on her as if it doesn't take two people to make this happen. Ken, let's also acknowledge that you had the decision-making role in this to also partake in these activities knowing that this could be a possibility. It's also your fault. Gypsy also says how she's been labeled a loose woman or as a hoe because of the way that she has gone about everything with Ken and getting knocked up. And yes, you are. You in fact are those things. It's not something that somebody is just out here trying to mislabel a situation. It's that's actually who you are. So it would be better at this point in time to just go ahead and own it and or ignore it, because trying to act as if people are just so psycho for even coming out with that kind of claim makes you look dumber than you did before, which I didn't really realize was a possibility, but clearly it is, and here we are now. She then also says how the paternity test that she did a few months ago was not so much for the public, but it was for Ryan so that he could get over it and move on. That is, in fact, the exact opposite of what she was saying when the test was done. She said that it was for the public to recognize that Ken is the father and I was right all along. So that's just, again, the complete opposite of what you were saying a few months ago.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard has posted the paternity test results for her baby. So it says at the top, Gypsy Rose A. Anderson, alleged father, Keenan R. Urker. In the top right-hand corner, it says possibility of paternity 99.9%. Gypsy wrote in the caption, there's been a lot of chatter around the paternity of our baby. And while we've known for sure from the beginning, I feel that it's finally time to put all these theories to rest. Here are the results showing Ken is the father. Ken is going to be an incredible dad. We are so excited our baby girl and to welcome her to the world. She messed that bottom part up. It also says that the test they performed, they used cell-free circulating fetal DNA isolated from the plasma of the maternal blood sample, and that this sample contains a mixture of maternal and fetal DNA. DNA was also isolated from nucleated cells in samples from the mother and alleged father. All DNA samples were analyzed using next-generation sequencing technology. Blah, 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 blah. Now, as we know, this was a paternity test that Gypsy decided to do herself, as she will inevitably have to take another test after birth since she's still legally married to Ryan. So the fact that she just took this test to appease the public and supposedly Ryan so that he can move on is just wild. So let me know what y'all think.
As far as her saying that, you know, Ryan, it's for him to get over it and move on and, you know, move on with his life. You're also the one that has consistently talked about him and your relations with him, the issues with him, the, you know, anything that you found wrong with Ryan, you're running to any media source to air out that dirty laundry. I find it interesting that you wanted to now say, well, I did this so he could get over it and move on. Why don't you stop talking about him, and why don't you stop producing such an embarrassing and intimate part of your life as a way to embarrass somebody that you were married to? Now, here's the whole thing. I have no sympathy for Gypsy. I don't have any sorrow or feelings of anything for her. Like, I think that she is, you know, to be frank, I do think she is a loose woman, and I do think a lot of the labels that are thrown at her are like, if the shoe fits, wear it. You have shown us exactly who you are, and then you get upset when the public calls it for what it is. I, at the end of the day, will always worry for this child. I will worry for this child's future, and having Gypsy Rose as her mother and having to go such extreme lengths in the public eye and just having all of this kind of orbiting around you. That sucks. I think it was very selfish what Gypsy did. I think it was classless and trashy. I will be keeping an eye on the updates, as I always do, but I want to know, how do y'all feel about this? Did you ever see the claim that she should have had her tubes tied because of her parole? And how do you feel about Ken blaming her, even though it takes two to make a child? I don't know, very weird, but I'm snowed in here. We had a snow day, and I just relaxed and did some organizing and cleaning, and obviously was working from home. I have a little cabin fever, but it's all good. You can't control the weather. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.